Max Verstappen. He joined Formula One at just 17 years old. Yeah, 17. Still in high school. Couldn't vote, couldn't rent a car. But Red Bull said, let's give him a 300km/h race car and see what happens. He drove for Toro Rosso, Red Bull's junior team. But from the first few races, people knew. This kid wasn't normal. He was fast, brave, a little wild. He pulled crazy overtakes like he didn't care who was in front. Champions, veterans, legends, didn't matter. Max went for it. So by his fourth race, he finished 7th in a car that had no business being there. F1 bosses were so shocked, they literally changed the rules after that. Now you have to be at least 18 to race in F1. That's how much Max broke the system. But the real madness came in 2016. Red Bull moved him up to the main team mid-season. No warning, no testing. First race with Red Bull, Spain. Both Mercedes drivers crashed. Max takes the lead and wins. First race with a new team. First win at 18 years old. Youngest winner in F1 history. And he held off Kimi Räikkönen like a seasoned pro. Max didn't need time to learn. He didn't ask for permission. He just showed up, floored it, and changed everything. That wasn't just a rookie moment, that was a new era starting. Lewis Hamilton. The year was 2007. McLaren took a chance and put him in the car next to Fernando Alonso, who had just won 2 world championships in a row. No pressure, right? But then comes Melbourne. Lewis is on the grid for his very first F1 race. The lights go out, and boom! He goes around the outside of Alonso at turn 1 like he's been doing this for 10 years. Cool as ice, calm under pressure. Everyone watching just went, wait, did that rookie just pass Alonso? He finished 3rd that day, and he didn't stop there. By the end of the year, he missed winning the championship by 1 single point. In his rookie year, madness. Charles Leclerc in Baku 2018. At this point, Charles was just the Ferrari Academy kid driving for Sauber, and Sauber, bless their hearts, were basically the F1 version of a garage band. Underfunded, underpowered. Their main achievement each weekend? Not finishing last. But Baku isn't a normal track. It's a video game level disguised as a street circuit. It's got long straights where engines cry for help, and tight castle sections where one wrong move turns your car into a decorative wall feature. Leclerc came in 4 races into his rookie season. His first 3 races, spins, mistakes, still learning. People were already whispering, maybe this kid's not ready. But then Baku happened. Everyone else lost their minds, Red Bulls crashed into each other, Bottas got shredded by debris, and somehow, like some kind of Monegasque ninja, Leclerc kept it clean. He didn't just finish, he finished 6th in a Sauber. That's like showing up to a Formula 1 party on a tricycle and leaving with a trophy. Even better, he wasn't just lucky, he was fast, smart, patient. It was the race that flipped the script from rookie learning curve to, oh wait, this guy's different. And you can bet Ferrari was watching because by the end of the year, they gave him Räikkönen's seat. And that Baku race, that's when it started. Oscar Piastri, the quiet kid. His whole arrival into F1 was already chaotic. Alpine said he was their future. Piastri said, no thanks. Actually, I signed with McLaren. The F1 world was watching this soap opera unfold, and everyone had the same question, is he even worth the hype? Fast forward to Suzuka. Japan's not just any track, it's the driver's circuit. A flowy, high-speed masterpiece where if you blink too long, you're in the wall. It's one of those tracks where legends shine and rookies usually get humbled. But Oscar, he shows up and qualifies second, ahead of Norris. In the same car, and not just on some fluke weather day. It was dry, clean, straight-up pace. But then came the race. No mistakes, no nerves, just pure execution. He brings it home P3, his first ever F1 podium in Japan. And let's be clear, this wasn't a charity podium. He didn't luck into it through safety cars or retirements. He earned it. He held off pressure, kept the tyres alive, made that McLaren look planted while veterans behind him struggled. McLaren fans hadn't seen a rookie like this since 2007. Yeah, that 2007. Suddenly, all the noise about contracts and seat drama didn't matter. Piastri had arrived, quietly, sharply. And from that day on, everyone in the paddock knew this kid is for real. Yuki Tsunoda. He rolled into Formula 1 in 2021. People joked he looked like a junior mechanic, not a driver, until he hit the gas. His debut, Bahrain, his first ever Grand Prix, no warm-up tour, no easing into it. But what does he do? He casually gains 4 places in the first few laps like it's Mario Kart on 200cc. But the real headline? He overtakes Fernando Alonso, a 2-time world champion, the samurai, the chaos merchant. And here comes Yuki, a rookie, casually sending it up the inside. Let's pause there, because Alonso doesn't get past easily, especially not by rookies. Usually they try and Alonso just deletes them with his mirrors, but Yuki didn't care. He just did it. Now remember, Japan hadn't had much to cheer for in F1 since Kamui Kobayashi went full torpedo mode at Suzuka in 2012. But here came this tiny, angry, high-pitched legend, bringing the fire, dropping F-bombs on team radio like it's Call of Duty, and overtaking icons. His rookie season wasn't perfect, there were crashes, but Bahrain, that was the moment. Japan had a driver again, and the internet instantly fell in love. Yuki became a meme factory, a GIF generator, a chaotic delight with race pace to back it up. Picture this. It's the 1950s and F1 just started. Helmets were optional and seatbelts were actually considered dangerous. This was the Wild West of Formula 1. Rookies weren't just trying to prove they were fast, they were trying not to die. You want to know how tough these guys were? They used to drink during race weekends. Max Verstappen loses his voice and it's news. These guys were racing with broken bones and hungover lungs. Jim Clark. His rookie season was in 1960. First of all, he didn't grow up karting. He literally went from driving tractors on a farm to Formula One. And guess what? He was fast. Like scary fast. By 1962, he was already fighting for championships. By 1963, he won it. Guy was a machine. Quiet, clean, and untouchable when the car worked. Jackie Stewart came in mid-60s. As a rookie, he straight up finished third in the championship, third behind only Jim Clark and Graham Hill, who were basically the Leclerc and Hamilton of their day, except they also looked like 40-year-old professors. Jackie was also one of the first to say, hey, maybe we should stop dying every other weekend? Yeah, it was a wild idea at the time. Emerson Fittipaldi. He was 23, Brazilian, and driving like he owed money to the mafia. He won a race in his fourth start. Fourth. And that wasn't even the peak. By 25, he was a world champion. Meanwhile, most of us are still figuring out how taxes work. The early days were brutal. You didn't get 20 races to prove yourself. You got like 5 on terrible tracks, and if you binned it into a hay bale, that might be it. Career over, or just, life over. But yet, these rookies came in and instantly made noise. No simulators, just raw talent, a bit of madness, and the ability to shift gears without destroying a gearbox or a lung. By the late 90s and early 2000s, Formula One stopped being just fast cars, brave guys. Now it was about systems, data, wind tunnels, corporate sponsorships, and rookies. They had to come in not just fast, but flawless. You couldn't just have guts anymore. You needed telemetry sheets, a PR team, a nutritionist, and reflexes sharpened by 10,000 hours of simulator work and childhood trauma. But despite all that, some still broke through. Kimi Räikkönen. When Kimi made his Formula One debut in 2001, most drivers had spent years climbing the ladder. Karting, Formula 3, testing, politics, you name it. Kimi had raced in exactly 23 car races. That's it. Not 23rd in F1. 23 races in his entire life. And Sauber gave him a seat. Naturally, the FIA freaked out. Like, wait, are we letting this guy race at 300 kilometers per hour with zero experience? They actually considered blocking his super license. But after some heavy convincing, they said yes. But what did Kimi do? He showed up to the Australian Grand Prix, sat on the grid half asleep, and then finished 6th in his first ever race. Like it was no big deal. No nerves, no oversteer panic, just cold, clean speed. That's when people started calling him the Iceman. He didn't say much, barely smiled, didn't care about press conferences or humans. Just wanted to race, go home, and maybe take a nap in between. But make no mistake, Kimi wasn't just cool, he was quick. The way he handled pressure, unreal. Most rookies overdrive. Kimi underreacted. The car could be on fire, and he'd just say, yes, but can I finish this lap? That rookie season launched him straight into a McLaren seat the next year. And by 2007, he was a world champion. With 23 races of experience and zero drama, Kimi walked in and made F1 his ice rink. Fernando Alonso. In 2001, a skinny Spanish kid with wild hair and what are you staring at eyes showed up in Formula One. And even though he wasn't in a fast car, he was in a backmarker Minardi, aka the F1 equivalent of a shopping cart with wings. From day one, Alonso looked like he already understood the car better than the engineers. The raw speed was there. The way he attacked corners was clean. He was pushing that Minardi like he thought it was a Ferrari. Spoiler, it wasn't, but he didn't care. He didn't score points that rookie season because the car couldn't score points unless a Meteor hit the top 10, but the driving, it made people stare. And in F1, making people stare is everything, Renault noticed. They scooped him up immediately as a test driver. By 2003, he was on the grid again, and in Hungary that year, he won, became the youngest winner in F1 at the time, lapped Michael Schumacher, lapped him! Crazy, right? By 2005, the prediction came true. Alonso didn't just fight the big names, he ended the most dominant era F1 had seen, beating Schumacher and Ferrari at their own game. At just 24 years old, he became the youngest world champion, and did it all with that "I'll destroy you with zero emotion" stare. Fernando didn't come in to play nice. He came in to take thrones. Juan Pablo Montoya, same rookie class as Kimi and Alonso. But Juan Pablo Montoya, he wasn't here to blend in. He came in like every round owed him money. Before Formula One, Montoya had already won an IndyCar and even took the Indy 500 as a rookie. So yeah, confidence was not in short supply. He didn't look at F1 as some holy land. He looked at it like his next win. Williams gave him the seat, and the second he hit the track, you knew this guy wasn't going to play by the rules. But then, Brazil 2001 happened. Michael Schumacher, Ferrari, peak dominance. Most rookies would have backed off. Montoya? Nah. He launched one of the boldest overtakes ever. Down the inside of turn 1 at Interlagos, like he was chasing rent money. He didn't just pass Schumacher, he bullied him. The F1 world gasped. Montoya just shrugged. He had no filter, no fear, no PR-trained persona. If the car was bad, he said it. If someone blocked him, he let them know, with his mouth and his front wing. Montoya didn't care about politics, didn't care about teammate harmony. That rookie year, he won at Monza, took multiple poles, and instantly became a fan favorite for people who liked their drivers fast, fiery, and slightly unhinged. Jenson Button, baby-faced Brit who didn't look like he belonged anywhere near a racetrack, but he was smooth, technically brilliant. Came into Williams at just 20 and made veteran teammates nervous. It wasn't raw speed, it was intelligence. He'd eventually become a world champ, but even back then, you knew, this kid had something. This era proved one thing. If you wanted to shock in the 2000s, it wasn't enough to just go fast. You had to think fast, drive smart, and survive the political Hunger Games that was early 2000s F1. But these rookies, they made it all look easy. Back in the day, a rookie had to win a race to make headlines. Now, one good radio message and you've got a fan base, a merch line, and someone editing your face onto clips. This is the new world. Welcome to F1 in the social media age. Let's talk Lando Norris. Debuted in 2019, decent pace, sharp in interviews, but then quarantine happened. Suddenly he's Twitch streaming nightly, playing iRacing, roasting his own driving, accidentally leaking team secrets, and gaining millions of followers without even racing a lap. Then the season started, and boom, he podiums in Austria and cries on the radio. Internet explodes. Lando isn't just a rookie, he's a F1 hero, the first to go full gamer. Zhou Guanyu. First Chinese driver in F1, steady rookie season, but then Silverstone happens. First lap, crash, absolute horror show. His car flips, skids, launches over a barrier, and lands between a tire wall and a fence. Everyone watching thought the worst, but then he walks away, completely fine. Not a scratch, instantly a symbol of how far safety has come. And Zhou, a legend for keeping cool through one of the scariest moments in modern F1. Memeified, glorified, never forgotten. This is the era where rookies become icons not just on track, but online. Welcome to the F1 content universe, where every pass is a highlight and every radio message is a t-shirt. But look, not every F1 debut ends with a podium, a contract extension, and a slow-mo montage. Some rookies crash, literally. Luca Badoer made his debut in 1993. Came back in 2009 for Ferrari when Massa got injured. The guy had spent over a decade as their test driver. Everyone thought, cool, he knows the car. Wrong. He was so slow in Valencia, he qualified last and then finished last. A Ferrari, getting lapped in a straight line. The dream comeback? More like a meme comeback. He never got another race. Then there's Sergei Sirotkin, 2018, drove for Williams. Granted, the car was about as stable as a three-legged stool in a hurricane, but still, 0 points. Got out-qualified and out-raced by everyone, including the team's printer. Nice guy, smart guy, not slow, but in F1, kinda okay, doesn't cut it. Out after one season. Nelson Piquet Jr. He got a seat at Renault in 2008. Struggled, crashed a lot, then helped orchestrate Crashgate. Yes, the Crashgate. Deliberately crashing to help Alonso win in Singapore 2008. Let that sink in. Went from rookie hope to scandal headline in a year and a half. Fired, never came back. But then, of course, Brendan Hartley. Great driver, Le Mans winner, but in F1, dropped in by Toro Rosso mid-season. Asked to prove himself in a car that needed prayers and duct tape. Struggled to score. Got outshone by Gasly. Gone the next year. Here's the brutal truth. F1 isn't patient. There's always a junior wait. If you're not impressive immediately, you're not here long.